What's going on, guys? Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. So I haven't touched a camera in almost 2 weeks, or maybe even 3, ever since we went on that Saturdays for the Boys trip up north to the Airbnb. But the last video with the cage, that was like a week ago. I've been done with the cage, like the metal work, since about Monday. Today is Saturday, and Chase has been working on it all week. He's been wanting to paint the interior. So I hadn't had any other cars come to the shop this week just because, you know, it's still a weird up and down slow time right now. And then the few inquiries I did have, they didn't have their deposits ready, so they didn't drop off yet. So that worked out in Chase's favor because he's already paying me so dang much for this cage and all the extra custom stuff we're doing. So I was like, you know, because he wanted to paint it and stuff too. So I was like, yeah, you know what, just take my spare key. I'm already exhausted from working on this thing so much, so you have fun. And so a couple of guys have been helping Chase in the evenings. They've been staying till basically midnight every night, I think. And they've got this interior knocked out. I mean, I helped them mask for like a day and stuff, but other than that, it's just been all them. So they did really good work, and I'm excited to show you guys. The interior and the cage got painted separate, so that was a whole thing. We'll talk about that when we get there, but I'm gonna go get some Dunkin' right now because that sounds really good. So let's go get some Dunkin'. Oh, by the way, this Max Rivnut's head unit, it's holding up freaking great. This thing's honestly super duper sick, and they accidentally sent me a second one, so now I'm determined to make it fit in the BMW. And the BMW doesn't have a double din setup, like it's hard to fit it, but you can. You just got to trim some stuff and move some stuff around, but we'll make it happen because I really like this radio. So a lot of you guys know my videos and know my, you know, my history here on the channel for enjoying coffee, and for quite a few years, up until the last like 3, honestly, I was, you know, Dunkin' every single day, and people would even send me stickers and other things, and you know, a lot of people would tip me as I started doing my own business. People would tip me in like Dunkin' gift cards. People would send me Dunkin' gift cards through the channel and stuff as tips, and be like, oh, here's 5, 10, 20 bucks for your next set of or you know, your next couple coffees on me type thing. There's kind of a lore, not really a lore behind any of that, to be honest. Like, basically, to sum it up, just because this could be a whole like other video because it's like a weird part of my life. But so my mom has always been a huge coffee fanatic, and my mom runs a coffee shop. She's had 2 of them at this point, with her different stays in Wisconsin through different points in her life, and now she's in Missouri, and she just got a 3rd one, not like, you know, chains, but like this is her 3rd time doing a coffee shop. So she's always been into coffee, which kind of obviously brushed onto me. And then when I first moved to Wisconsin after high school, I had never had Dunkin' Donuts before because the little town that I grew up in, Payson, Arizona, didn't have one at the time. There's a little town that was right outside of where I was living in Wisconsin called Oconomowoc, and there was, you know, I would take my Integra into town after I got up there, got it fixed up driving again, because that's a whole story on its own. If you guys want to know how that whole section of my life ended up and how I ended up out there, let me know in the comments down below, because, you know, mentally I'm more or less past that section of my life now, and now it's just fond memories looking through all the other crap that I had to go through. But that's why I can't sell my Integra, even though you guys don't see it on the channel anymore. I do look at it and I do ponder on it greatly. But I used to take that Integra to Dunkin' Donuts in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin every single morning, and I would get the same thing: vanilla iced coffee, cream and sugar. At the time, I didn't like coffee hardly at all. I was still pretty new to it, so I was like, give me as much diabetes in this thing as you can. And then I would just go out to a little back road, and there was a loading dock there for like putting a boat launch, I should say. It was at a place called Silver Lake, and I used to sit there every single morning and ponder, talk to God, you know, whatever. And I would just get the same thing: vanilla iced coffee and some hash browns, and I would sit out there and contemplate my life. And this just kind of fell into, you know, my routine. I always kind of laughed at my dad for having weird things. You know, everybody's parents, I'm sure everybody's dad has something that they just do, like old guys got the routine. It kind of became one of mine, so I don't know, whatever. Let's get down to the shop. That doesn't taste right. Alright, so we've had our breakfast, except for I noticed the reason that my coffee tasted funny. Chase ended up bringing some Dutch Bros, but the reason the Dunkin' tasted funny is they messed it up. They gave me regular instead of the vanilla, so and it was a fresh brew, so it just tastes a little weird. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna start putting the Civic back together. This thing, honestly, like, I don't know how much justice the video is gonna do because we don't have direct sunlight in here, but look at how good this looks. Like, it looks so stinking clean. So this is a Ford, basically whatever gray that the Ford Rangers had in the 90s, the Mustangs, and the F-150s. And the cage, he didn't really know what color it was. Obviously it's like a bronzish burnt orange, but it's not like a particular color. I think it's like a House of Colors type thing that was just at the paint store that he liked. But it looks freaking great how it offsets the gray. Are you happy with it?
Pretty damn happy, man. Turned out pretty good.
And for anybody wondering why the doors aren't matched, because the doors are going to get skimmed, he's going to be getting a Lexan kit from the UK, so you won't even be seeing this here in a couple months. And the glass guy, our glass guy Shaka, he came, put the windshield back in yesterday, got us a brand new one. So now, really, we just got the daunting task of reassembly.
Shouldn't be too bad. It's just like 1,800 connectors.
Yeah. Yeah, because you guys saw in the video of the removal, all this harness all has a home, and then get the dashboard put in. Obviously, I already made the mounts for that, so that'll be pretty easy. It fits in there pretty nice. It only, I think 5 screws is what I use to hold it, 5 OEM screws. We do have to put all the pedals back in because we kind of started taking stuff apart, and I was like, well, this is only 4 bolts, that's only 4 bolts. It kind of snowballed until the car was fully empty, which made it a lot easier in the short term to paint because it looks way better than trying to mask around everything and trying to paint around everything. So it turned out for the best. Even though all the dash stuff you're not going to see anyway, just knowing that it's there, knowing that it was done the right way, feels better. Even though I didn't do it. It was all him. I basically gave him the key and I was like, I'm going home, I'm tired.
Me and a couple buddies.
Yeah, so big thanks to Tristan and Shane and whoever else. Logan popped in for a day or two.
Logan was some emotional support.
Yeah, so mostly Tristan and Shane. You guys,
Yep.
Yeah, between the 3 of them, I mean, they got everything knocked out here in, what, 3-4 days of staying until midnight, right? I think it was like 4 or 5,
week,
actually,
yeah. I think the week before we had a couple more, so.
Yeah.
It was a fucking event, alright.
Yeah, it is. It's a ton of work, but it came out looking super good. So, and both of us got some pride in this project because he's obviously being the owner, only FK8 Type R in Arizona with a Cage Kits kit, and my video is going to be put on the Cage Kits website. So that's really cool, and I'm hoping to get a couple more Cage Kit installs done, so that way I can become a certified installer because that'd be really sick. But yeah, we're just gonna start reassembly. Try not to die today because it is really humid today in Arizona. We've been, just getting dick teased for like a month straight. We'll get 10 inches of or fucking 10 millimeters of rain for 20 seconds in the middle of the night. Just enough to dirty the car, and then it's just humid for a whole day. So, loving monsoon season. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna start throwing some stuff together, and we'll kind of throw you guys in there in the mix as we get time. We are 20 minutes into install and chill. And the little tabbies, the little thingies that go through the pedal with the cotter pin to connect it to the masters, they've gone missing. So, yeah, good. Off to a good head start. No, interior is all done. We got to fit him for his seats, but that's probably going to be just, I don't know, another day, because it's already almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon somehow. So yeah, no, that's all that's left is seats, and then just the 2 pins that he misplaced for the pedals, for the clevises. So
Kind work.
yeah, no, it looks really good in here though. We'll have to, we'll have to rotate the steering column a little bit, because it did, when we bolted it up, we kind of got it a little out of position. But that's 4 bolts, and that can go back up. So yeah, it's looking pretty solid though. Looks like we got a new welder to mess with. That's gonna be for a separate video though. So let's go. And because I didn't know we needed gas until I left the house, for breakfast we got a protein shake, because I forgot to make one at home. Also, the one I have at home is like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch one, and honestly it just makes my stomach turn. So this one for now, and then we got some breakfast pizza and good old Liquid Death, the lime, goated, if you know, you know. Stuff's so good.
You want to wait till I'm done, and then you can actually see
No.
or hear your fucking self?
Every time I get in the JZ, the guy's always way taller than me. But at least this one's adjustable, unlike Ryan's car. Okay, let's get this thing out of here. Bolt. Nice. It's a tight fit.
It just smells like a Jay-Z.
This thing is gnarly as balls. I may or may not have stalled it and launched you guys off the dash, but whatever. I need a Jay-Z in my life. I really do. I need a Jay-Z. They just sound so good.
Yeah.
This is the Porsche we've been working on for a few days. Alex and I have been doing a lift kit on this thing, which is definitely not something I've done before. I think it's first for him as well. So it's not a normal lift kit. I mean, I guess it's normal, but it's not like, you know, whole springs and all this crazy stuff. It's like spacers, so everything got spaced. The subframes got spaced down, shocks got spaced up, and not gonna lie, it was definitely difficult. So we're on to the last little bit right now. It's got new upper control arms too with adjustable camber, but the issue we're seeing at the moment is, like, we can tighten everything, which is what we're doing right now, but we can't really go much negative, because once you get any sort of suspension droop, it contacts the wheel touches, or like the hub or whatever touches the shock. So kind of a concern, but it's probably going to be one of those, just going to have to buy more aftermarket stuff later. But at least for now, he's just getting the lift that, you know, he's looking for. You can see the big red puck up there. So almost done. Trying to get this thing wrapped up here pretty quick. Whole trunk had to come out to get a bunch of stuff out, so got to find a nut that fell in the engine bay. That's gonna be fun. Put this weird torque mount in and leave it to, you know, Porsche, Volkswagen to use plastic torque mounts. So that's nice. All the fancy Torx hardware everywhere. Just, you know, German car things, but we're almost done. Only spent, this is our 3rd day on it, so it could be worse.
Yeah.
But at least it's gonna be cool, because he's got some big old fatty knobby tires over here to put on it. Got these big old Johnnies. I don't even know what size these are, 31, something like that. I don't know. It'll look cool. You get really bad gas mileage, I'm sure, but it'll look cool. All right, well, we're all done except for the issue of that. So part of the issue is the alignment's off, so the caster is far forward, but these wheels are entirely too big for this car, for this setup, without cutting. And as far as I know, the owner isn't wanting to cut anything, so that's where we're kind of stuck. We're gonna have to send this thing out of here on the stock wheels, and it's just gonna look kind of funny. But in the meantime, I got some salad and go. I'm gonna eat some lunch, and then once we figure this thing out wheel-wise here in the next, hopefully, a few minutes, I'm gonna pull in that BMW, and we're gonna change the drive shaft flex disc, aka the Guibo, and get working on that. And then I need to call it a day. I'm so tired. I'm like falling asleep sitting in the chair waiting for Alex to text the owner of this thing. But money's money, right? All right, stock wheels are back on. And a big old gap though. So Gonna have to take this thing to the alignment shop tomorrow for the owner because the alignment shop is just like 2 miles away. And now time for the BMW.
They don't break.
Oh boy, black leather, my favorite in this Arizona sun. Woo, it's hot in here. Alright, try and get this thing in as quickly as possible. Where's the... Okay. Alright, just got back from getting some slushies, Red Bull slush. Of course we need the caffeine because we're addicted, but you know, a lot of you guys think BMWs are super bad to work on, and as tedious as they can be, this thing's pretty easy. So this is the Guibo I'm talking about up here. This guy, now it's probably hard to see because of the light, but you can see up there, there's crazy cracking. Yeah, right against this part right here. So this guy's probably got some vibrations going on, which is probably why he wanted me to change it. So we only had to remove the exhaust and the heat shield right there to get access to that. Now we just got six pieces of hardware that hold it up, and then it just pull the drive shaft forward a little bit. We'll have to disconnect these 213s on the carrier bearing, but yeah, you just pull it forward off this little puck here, and then yeah, just gotta mark it with the drive shaft because they are orientated a certain way, but overall they're pretty easy to change out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quick, and we'll show you when it's done and keep on trucking because it's already 3 o'clock and I'd like to go home at a reasonable time today. Alright, there you go. This is the old Johnny. Look at that, it's all cracked. And the new one. So yeah, the Arizona heat, and then you know, these cars just, they make quite a bit of power, quite a bit of torque, so this rubber puck really just gets abused. So yeah, just line this thing back up, reassemble, should be done in about 30 minutes. Easy money. Unfortunately, I just was under the car, had everything apart. I can't actually do the coolant bleed because on these, so this is a, I don't know if it's first gen, if that's the right time period, but I can't actually do the coolant bleed process on this thing because to actually drain it, so I just quoted the guy like 175 bucks for a drain and flush, or a flush or whatever, so drain and bleed, because I didn't have any info on it. So get under there, there's no drain petcock on the car at all. You know, mine, granted 2018 BMW, not familiar with the newer stuff, the older stuff, early 2000s and prior, got a bit more knowledge on. But yeah, these things have, like I said, the 2 cooling systems, which they're a part of the same radiator. Issue I found is there's no drain petcock on here, so you basically got to take apart everything up front to be able to get to the lower hoses for the low temp and the high temp system to pull those to then drain it. And then the BMW thing calls for a vacuum fill because there's apparently no way to get all the air out without a vacuum fill. So I don't have a vacuum coolant fill. I'm looking at buying the Matco one. It's like a little under 300 bucks because I'd use it more than, you know, once for sure, but 300 bucks right now for a tool that I don't need in the near future, I don't think, is a little steep. So unfortunately, I got to turn down the service. We got the Guibo or the flex disc changed out, so I texted the owner of the car, just waiting for him to get back to me on what he wants to do with it, like when he wants to pick it up type thing. Unfortunately, you just, you know, limited by tooling, and that's the worst part. But I looked at the repair process, like the order or whatever, and it even calls for taking out the passenger front strut for some reason, which I don't get because under there it didn't look like it was in the way, but whatever. So car's all buttoned up, ready to go home, and so am I. So I'm gonna pull this thing out of here, get the JZX back in here so it's out of the elements, because it looks like we might actually get some rain, whatever. So yeah, man, sometimes you win some, you lose some, but that's the moral of this video, right? Get some dust on the lens here. You know, sometimes you just can't, things don't go according to plan. Obviously with Chase's car, still got things we're waiting on for that. It's hard doing, you know, stuff like this, because when you're not in control of the supply of the material and the parts and everything, you don't have stuff local. That's what makes this custom shop stuff pretty difficult, but it is what it is, you know. But anyways, guys, I'm probably gonna wrap this video up here now that we don't have any more work to do. So I also did go to the P.O. box. I just checked, it's been months since I've checked, and somebody sent me some shirts. I didn't get a note in there from you, so whoever you are, I believe there's a CRX on a shirt, maybe a Diablo, and then a beanie. Thank you very much. That is really rad. It's at home. I dropped them off this morning on my way back to the post office. But anyways, do what you love with the rest. Go buy some merch on the website, velocityracefab.com. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.